Well, Rachel, we're asking this morning if parents should be allowed to decide when it's time for their children to return to the classroom. You can go ahead and vote right now at 12news.com/bullhorn. Right now, overwhelmingly, yes, 85% of you believe this decision should be left up to the parents. And we're asking because Governor Ducey's executive order on keeping learning virtual expires on August the 17th. But State Superintendent Kathy Hoffman says coming back that early probably isn't going to happen. Releasing this statement on Monday afternoon, saying, as school leaders, we should prepare our families and teachers for the reality that it's unlikely that any school community will be able to reopen safely for traditional in-person or hybrid instruction by August the 17th. Now, Governor Ducey did order the state's health department to create standards for reopening classrooms by this Friday, August the 7th. So we're hoping to learn what those standards are by the end of the week, and Kathy Hoffman doesn't think that mid-August is realistic. But should it be up to her? Or should parents be able to decide when it's okay to send their kids back? Here's what some of you are saying on this topic, and a lot of people weighing in because this one affects basically anybody with kids right now. Nancy, definitely. I told my son not to send my grandson back until he and his wife feel comfortable. So regardless of what the state does, believes that her grandson should go back when the parents feel like it's okay. Should probably be up to the teachers. They would be the ones who are at the most risk. And there's a lot of scientific backing to that idea as well. Mary Ann says, absolutely, give them the options here. So you can continue weighing in here and let us know. 12news.com/bullhorn is the place to vote, and you can leave comments on our 12 News Facebook page as well.